Here's a fun fact. Did you know that GPS systems, that technology that gives us real-time directions and mapping on our phones, it needs to get updated from time to time? Not because the satellites drift, but because the Earth does. Yeah, the tectonic plates, those big hunks of rock underneath our feet, they drift at about the same pace our fingernails grow. Wow, that's a really weirdly, oddly specific reference. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, our planet is basically doing a slow dance in socks. And over time, those tiny shifts, well, they add up. In 2017, for example, Australia had to recalibrate its GPS coordinates by nearly 2 meters. See, here's the thing, marketing strategy is no different. We've all been running the same plays, the same maps, but the ground beneath us, it never stops moving. And lately, it seems like it's not just shifting, it's quaking. Call it a strategic earthquake, if you will. You see, what I see are marketers today aren't struggling with creativity nearly as much as they're struggling with location, the destination of that creativity. They know what they want to say, but the where, that's what's gotten messy. Platforms are changing, feeds are mutating, distribution channels are vanishing like our favorite dive bar. Search, it's a mess. Rand Fishkin, one of the leaders in search engine optimization, he's grumpy because 60% of marketers are still chasing traffic in a zero-click world. Bain reports that 80% of consumers, well, they're now finding answers without ever clicking. AI-generated overviews, they're slashing organic traffic by up to 25%. I mean, yikes. Meanwhile, social media is decided that it's no longer social. The For You feed is built on randomness of the creators. I mean, one minute it's an amazing thought leader that you love. The next it's a crypto bro blending cottage cheese into coffee. And the next it's a PhD explaining supply chain theory with sock puppets. Yeah, whether we like it or not, in this shifting world, it's not the institutions that lead anymore, it's the people. The crowd now runs the show. That's not a quirk, that's the new system that we operate within. And if your content strategy feels a little bit like it's spinning in place, it's because your compass, it's locked into one of those outdated coordinates. So what do we do with all of this? Well, we can start moving our coordinates. And here are 5 current reshaping content ideas right now that might help you do exactly that. So the first, paid presence in a distracted world. So paid advertising, yes, it still matters. But what's happening right now? What's happening is it's now seeming to be a dumbbell strategy. In other words, you're either hyper-targeting one person with 450 ads that repeat or shouting from a stadium with your logo on every hot dog. One, it whispers to the CEO. The other screams to the crowd. Both want one thing, engaged attention. So that's the idea. Increasingly, both ends are chasing that engaged attention. Can you buy time, presence, or even a few moments of immersion in a crowded, distracted world? But unfortunately, that polarization, that dumbbelling, is hollowing out the middle of paid advertising. On one side, the haves, those with the right data, the right technology, and the budget, well, they can thrive on performance marketing and afford to shout and put their logo on all the hot dogs. On the other hand, we have the have-nots, mostly smaller and mid-sized businesses, those that are still trying to scrape efficiency out of shrinking margins and seeing paid social and search get ever more expensive. One is aiming for saturation, the other for relevance within a specific, affordable niche. We've got to figure out a way to bring that middle back to our strategy. Oh, and one other thing, the drive for engaged attention also fuels that boom in paid influencer marketing, those people. It offers a form of borrowed trust. It's a way to show up in someone else's earned space, even if you paid to be there. Today, many of the most strategic media buys aren't a network placement, it's buying a network of influential people. That gets us to 2, the algorithm as editor. So discovery doesn't start with a search anymore, it starts with the feed, it's the swipe, it's the scroll. Success isn't about the click, it's about being seen, paused, remember. If your strategy kicks in after someone clicks, you're not playing the current game. People are turning their feeds into what resonates, not what reaches. If you want in, you got to start to understand the physics of that relevance. That gets us to 3, networks of trust. As I mentioned before, whether we like it or not now today, trust flows through people, not logos. It lives inside communities, not campaigns. A podcast with 2,000 rabid fans, that's more powerful than a front page feature in a trade mag or a mainstream newspaper. A smart LinkedIn post from your product manager can outperform that 50K ad buy. We've moved from going viral to being forwarded. The question is, what are we getting forwarded? That gets us to 4, designed moments, lived media. Experience, it's no longer an accessory, it's the medium. Live streams, webinars, pop-ups, podcasts, the live Q&A. That's not fluff anymore. It is the fuel. These are the moments that spark stories, and those stories travel. Presence in a designed experience, whether you call that a physical or digital event, it matters. So does the way presence fuels participation. These touch points, the marketers don't create, just chase media with content like, please cover our press release, please cover our press release. No, these experiences can generate content organically. These experiences themselves inspire the stories that people want to share, moments worth remembering, and takeaways that travel, not because they're polished, but because they're built for connection. And that gets us to our own website, our own newsletter, our own resource center. 5, owning the inspiration to be found. Your website isn't a megaphone anymore. It is a magnet. It is not a billboard. It is a magnet. You need something to stick to. In a zero-click world, the question isn't how do we get them to click on our website? It's what makes them care enough to come find us and want to access beyond the red velvet rope that we're going to put up. Owned media now has a job. Create the kind of value that justifies the journey. So yeah, it's about trust. It's about usefulness. It's about being worth bookmarking. So where does that leave us? The bottom line, if you feel a little unmoored right now, you're not crazy. The maps are outdated. The terrain is shifting. But here's the good news. Here's the good news. And noticing that you're off course, that means you're ready to start to navigate. You don't need the perfect model. You need to watch how content flows and meet it there. Update your coordinates. Trust your footing. If we can help you do that, let us know, of course. But if you want a little more, I wrote a little longer piece about this here, and it's in my weekly column. And until then, remember, just remember, it's your story. Find your new North Star, update your coordinates, and then tell it well. I'll see you next week.